psychic defense, esoteric symbols, and the spiritual legacy of ancient Egypt. These are just a few of the profound elements woven into the teachings of Dion Fortune, a trailblazing figure in Western occultism. But who was she? And how did her work shape the world of ritual magic? Dion Fortune, born Violet Mary Firth in 1890 in Llandudno, Wales, was a pioneering figure in the world of Western esotericism. A psychologist by training and a mystic by calling, she stood at the crossroads of science and the occult, a rare combination in her time. Her spiritual journey began early in life. She claimed to have had psychic experiences as a child, which later led her to explore deeper layers of the mind and the unseen world. Her quest for understanding took a more structured form when she became involved with the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, one of the most influential magical organizations of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Fortune was especially drawn to Kabbalistic teachings, the Western mystery tradition, and ceremonial magic. Her fascination with the inner workings of spiritual energy systems laid the foundation for her lifelong work. In 1924, she founded the Society of the Inner Light, an esoteric school that emphasized disciplined spiritual development through ritual, meditation, and metaphysical study. This society became a cornerstone for modern occult practice and served as a sanctuary for those seeking deeper connection to the sacred and the mystical. Dion Fortune was not only a practitioner but also a prolific writer. Her books, both practical and fictional, continue to inspire generations of seekers, blending esoteric teachings with psychological insights. She believed that magic was a science of the soul and that through conscious effort, humanity could bridge the material and spiritual worlds. While Dion Fortune was many things, occultist, mystic, healer, it was in the realm of psychic protection that she made one of her most practical and profound contributions. Published in 1930, Psychic Self-Defense is a cornerstone of modern esoteric practice, an essential manual for recognizing and repelling invisible forces that can affect the human aura, mind, and spirit. Fortune didn't write from theory alone. Her teachings were drawn from first-hand experience with psychic attack, spiritual disturbances, and the unseen consequences of ritual work left incomplete. She warned of energies that feed on fear, thought forms created through intense emotion, and spiritual entities that could latch onto individuals through weakened psychic boundaries. But her message was clear: we are not helpless. With knowledge, focus, and discipline, the practitioner can reclaim their energetic sovereignty. Fortune placed great emphasis on the power of sacred symbols. In her eyes, symbols were not merely representations. They were living archetypes, vibrating keys that aligned the practitioner with universal forces. A properly charged symbol, she believed, could repel negativity, attract divine energies, or anchor one's consciousness to higher planes. She drew heavily from the Kabbalistic tradition, especially the glyphic wisdom encoded in the Tree of Life, which she saw as a map of both the cosmos and the soul. Every sapphira was a doorway to a realm of consciousness. Every path between them, a channel for spiritual energy. These were not abstract metaphors to her. They were ritual tools, psychic pathways, and defensive mechanisms. In Fortune's methods, psychic defense was not reactive, it was proactive. She taught daily practices: aura cleansing through visualization, constructing psychic shields of light, invoking angelic forces, and the use of ritual magic to set energetic boundaries. She also understood that the mind itself was both a weapon and a gateway. Visualization, she taught, was not mere imagination. It was an act of psychic engineering. Through focused intent, one could sculpt the very etheric landscape surrounding them. For Dion Fortune, the art of psychic defense was deeply spiritual, anchored in discipline, symbolic language, and energetic awareness. She left behind a legacy not just of teachings, but of protection, empowerment, and spiritual resilience. A legacy that still shields and guides seekers to this day. For Dion Fortune, ancient Egypt was far more than an archaeological curiosity. It was a spiritual inheritance, a living current of mystical power flowing through the ages, waiting to be reawakened by those attuned to its frequency. She believed that Egypt's temples, myths, and rituals held keys to timeless truths, cosmic laws embedded in symbolic form. To her, The spiritual system of ancient Egypt was not primitive or outdated, but profoundly advanced, one of the most refined expressions of sacred science ever developed. The priests and priestesses of the Nile were not merely religious functionaries but initiates, keepers of arcane knowledge who understood the inner architecture of the soul and the invisible dimensions of the cosmos. In Fortune's view, the Egyptian pantheon was not a collection of idols, but a living constellation of divine archetypes. Isis was the embodiment of the great mystery, the intuitive, nurturing, all-encompassing feminine force. Osiris represented the soul's death, dismemberment, and spiritual resurrection. Thoth, the god of wisdom and sacred speech, symbolized the Logos, the divine intelligence that shaped both matter and mind. Horus stood for the rising sun of consciousness, the divine child born from the union of spirit and matter. Fortune believed that these archetypes lived within the collective unconscious, and that through ceremonial magic and meditative attunement, a practitioner could awaken these forces within themselves. She taught that working with these symbols was not merely an act of imagination. It was a process of psycho-spiritual activation. Every glyph, every ritual gesture, every mythic narrative was a key, a tool designed to initiate transformation in the soul. Her rituals often mirrored ancient Egyptian structures: processional rites, invocations to the cardinal points, offerings of light and incense, and psychic journeying through the underworld and celestial realms. Through symbolic reenactment, the practitioner entered a living myth, aligning their personal consciousness with the eternal rhythms of cosmic order. Fortune seamlessly wove these Egyptian elements into the broader framework of Western esotericism, particularly the Kabbalistic tree of life, seeing parallels between the Sephiroth and the Egyptian Neteru, between the soul's descent into matter and its return to divine source. In this way, she created a spiritual synthesis that honored both ancient and modern currents, fusing the intuitive power of myth with the structured discipline of ceremonial magic. To Dion Fortune, the ancient Egyptian mysteries were not lost, they were merely sleeping, and through her work she sought to awaken them once more, not in the temples of stone, but in the inner temples of the soul. For Dion Fortune, ritual magic was not merely an elaborate performance or a collection of superstitions, but a sacred and structured path of spiritual discipline designed to bring the practitioner into profound alignment with divine forces. She perceived ritual as a powerful tool for transforming the self, not an external method of controlling the world. The magic did not lie in bending reality to the magician's will, but in reshaping the magician themselves, awakening hidden faculties within and expanding consciousness. Fortune taught that every ritual element, whether it was the tracing of sacred symbols, the invocation of spiritual beings, or the careful arrangement of magical tools, served as a spiritual key, a means to tap into higher dimensions of reality and consciousness. Ritual magic was a process of attunement, requiring the practitioner to enter a state of heightened awareness, where the boundaries between the material and spiritual realms dissolved. By using the potent symbols of the Kabbalah, astrology, elemental forces, and divine archetypes, the magician could bring themselves into harmony with universal laws, such as the law of correspondence and the law of vibration. Fortune believed that these rituals acted as psychic calibrations, aligning the practitioner's inner world with the celestial forces that shape existence, guiding the soul towards enlightenment and spiritual evolution. Through focused intent and visualization, the magician would call forth divine energies, not to control or manipulate the world, but to serve as a conduit for the transmission of higher wisdom, love, and power. Each ritual, whether it was a simple prayer or a grand ceremonial work, was an act of personal transformation, wherein the practitioner would embody the very forces they invoked, ultimately becoming a vessel for the divine will. By performing these sacred acts, the magician didn't just change themselves, they contributed to the greater cosmic balance, serving as a living instrument of divine expression. Dion Fortune's legacy continues to inspire modern practitioners of the occult. Her work bridges the gap between ancient mysteries and contemporary spiritual exploration. Whether you are new to esoteric studies or a seasoned practitioner, her teachings offer a gateway into the world of ritual magic, or you believe in the power of ritual magic. Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey into the mystical, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more content from Mystic Realms.